All right, you guys, it's the first of the month. So it's time to take a look at all the Omnis I bought in the month of June. It's a lot. What's up, guys? BJ Kicks here. I buy comics, I read them, and I review them, all for your viewing pleasure. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. Now, on this channel, I talk about comics. If you're interested, consider subscribing. This is actually my first video since returning from Heroes Con 2022, my first convention. That was really dope. I got a recap coming soon. It's going to be in two parts. The first video, I'm just going to kind of show you what I got, tell you how my experience was, show you a little bit of footage. Then the second video is going to be my tips for making the most of a comic convention because, spoiler alert, I did not do everything I set out to do, but I did do a lot. Anyway, before I jumped out of the window or got in the car and went to Heroes Con, I did buy a bunch of graphic novels in the month of June. Now, I'm surprised at how tall this stack is, honestly, because I was supposed to be saving money for the convention. And you'll see by the end of this video, that didn't quite happen the way I thought it was supposed to. But it's all good. Now, before I go any further, I have to give a huge shout out to Organic Price Books. They're the sponsor of this video, and they are where I got almost all of these graphic novels. So at any time, you can use the coupon code BJKicks and save on your orders of 1 or 2 books. If you're ordering 3 books or more, though, I recommend using the code BJKicks, ship it together. All of your books will be shipped in one convenient package as soon as they all arrive in the warehouse. So it's great for handling pre-orders if your books are all coming out in the same month. Anyway, you'll save 5% on that entire order. So shout out to Organic Price Books. Definitely use the link in the description below to shop to your heart's content. Now, let's go ahead and get started because we got a lot of books to go over. I'm going to start with the indies, and the first is a book that I grabbed off of Kickstarter. This is The Dust Pirates. Dust Pirates is a book by Kevin Cuff and Bob France with art by Tony Gregory and colors by Josh Jensen, letters by Chaz Pangburn. So cool stuff. Basically, I did a video about this book, so I won't rehash, but it's a book that I funded on or backed on Kickstarter. It's like a swashbuckling adventure. These two guys on the cover are like the reluctant heroes who have to try to save Atlantis because oligarchs have taken over the water supply. Right. So very exciting. These guys also wrote Metal Shark Bro, if you're familiar with that series. So fun guys. They also host the Word Bros podcast. They do a lot. But anyway, I backed this book and I actually saw Kevin and Bob at Heroes Con. And so instead of waiting for, this book to come in the mail, they were like, hey, just grab it off the table. It's yours. We'll mark your order as completed. So that worked out. A nice Heroes Con pickup. I'm excited to get into that. That'll be like a very quick, maybe 2 hours at the most I'll spend reading this. But anyway, keep it up with the indie theme. Here's one that I grabbed from Organic Price Books. This is Reckless, The Ghost in You. This is the 4th volume in the Reckless franchise. I've read almost half of volume 1 by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. This is the 4th book, like I said. This follows Reckless, Friend of the Devil, and Destroy All Monsters. The 5th volume has just been announced, and I cannot remember the name of it to save my life. But hey, it's on the screen now. But yeah, Reckless, The Ghost in You. Nice stuff. It's a nice noir crime book. Next up, because we got a lot of books to go, I grabbed this one off Amazon. You guys saw a video of me unboxing this. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles IDW Collection, Volume 4. Still in shrink wrap and arrived with no damage, surprisingly. Thanks, Amazon. But anyway, this was significant because it was the last book I needed in order to complete my TMNT IDW collection. So we're all set until volume 14 comes out next month, I believe. Or this month. It's July, right? So yeah, volume 14 is coming soon. Now I've got 1 through 13 sitting on the shelf, ready to be read. Volume 1, I'm about 3/4 of the way through volume 1. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I don't know when I'm going to read the other 13 books, but I love it. So I'm glad I have it. And then here's one that I didn't even know I was going to get, but when I saw it in the store, I was like, all right, let's do it. This is Firepower. Firepower by Robert Kirkman and Chris Samney. Let me know if you want an overview of this book. I've actually read all the stories that are in this. This contains Firepower issues 1 through 12, as well as the Prelude graphic novel. This is one of those books that is such a quick read. There's not like a ton of dialogue. It's kind of like the opposite of The Walking Dead in that way. You could breeze through this also in like a couple of hours in an afternoon. And man, is it worth it? Is it worth it? It's like, I don't know. It's a kung fu book. It gives me like Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes. But it's beautiful. It is a beautiful book. Amazing art. These are some covers by Chris Samney. I'll probably do a separate video review on this. As a matter of fact, our book club, the K-Squad book club in the Discord server, is meeting this Sunday evening to talk about it. Sunday is July 3rd. So join the Discord. You can find the book club channel where we're talking about Firepower. It'll be a fun conversation. And that was it for the indie books. Now, let me set these aside and we can move on over to DC, Detective Comics, where we have, I didn't think this through. All right, we're not going to move to DC. We're going to move to Marvel because I got way more DC books this time around. So, first up for Marvel Comics is Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. This is the Luke Cage Omnibus. I would say Volume 1. It doesn't say Volume 1. It's just the Luke Cage Omnibus. But this, well, that makes sense because this collects Luke Cage, Hero for Hire, issues 1 through 16, and then Power Man, issues 17 through 47 in the first annual. I believe beginning with issue 48, that series becomes Power Man and Iron Fist. And Luke Cage didn't get a solo series after that until 1992. So anyway, Luke Cage, Volume 1. I got this because history. This is the 50th anniversary of Luke Cage, and Luke Cage was the first Black character at Marvel to have his own series. Yes, his series predates the Jungle Action series starring Black Panther. So that's pretty cool. Now, the next book that I grabbed from Marvel, this was one that I bought in the wear and tear section, trying to save a few bucks, but this is Moon Knight, Volume 2. This is one of those books that came out maybe a month or so ago. It didn't come out in June, to my knowledge, but I was on the fence about whether or not I wanted to buy it. But then I started like just seeing Bill Sienkiewicz artwork in other places, and I was like, you know what? Moon Knight is where Bill Sienkiewicz became Bill Sienkiewicz. I've already got Volume 1. Let me go ahead and get Volume 2. So I bought this specifically because of the artist. And honestly, I've got a lot of Moon Knight, so I might as well keep going with the character. My understanding is that there's a Moon Knight Mark Spector omnibus coming soon. And between that and everything else we've got, that pretty much would collect all of Moon Knight. So that's pretty cool. I guess there's still Moon Knight by Bendis. I don't know. I don't know how that's collected, but those were the two Marvel books that I got this month. Now, this one's got a cover price of $125. You can grab this for, I believe, about 80 on Organic Price Books using code BJKicks at checkout. And just for a record, Luke Cage also had a cover price of $125. Both still available. Now, let's move that and let's get on to this DC Comics stack. First off, I got a couple of standard size hardcovers, starting with Deceased Unkillables. Now, why did I buy this book? Because this book is quite old. If you've been keeping up with the DC stuff, all these Deceased hardcovers have been around for a minute. Unkillables, the regular Deceased, Hope at World's End, Dead Planet. I think that's all of them, right? Well, they just announced another Deceased miniseries. I believe this one's going to be a 7-part miniseries, and it's billed as like the final chapter in the trilogy. Yes, there are 5 books, but somehow it's a trilogy. So I decided to go ahead and finish up my collection in hardcover. So I've got Unkillables. I also have Dead Planet and Hope at World's End on the way. But yeah, Cover price on this, $22.99. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's only a 3-issue miniseries, which is why I didn't feel compelled to buy the hardcover when they first came out. But I figured they'd look good on the shelf. So grabbed that. And then I went to Ollies. I didn't film a video because that trip was super unproductive and unfruitful. But I went ahead and grabbed this, though, Batman Earth 1. This is volume 2 because it was only $6. $5.99 marked down from $25, which was the cover price. So yeah, I was like, that's a win every day of the week. So Batman Earth 1 sounds good to me. I still got to buy volumes 1 and 3, which are both available on Amazon, not for any sort of discount. I haven't even checked OPB. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I might have enough rewards points to grab these books elsewhere, but whatever. And next up was one of the books I was most excited to grab this month. You guys probably saw my overview for this. This is Static Season 1, the standard size hardcover. Static Season 1, written by Vita Ayala. It's also got contributions from Reggie Hudlin, Greg Pak, because they included the Milestone Returns 0 issue. So you get the Milestone Returns one shot that kind of details the Big Bang and the start of this new Milestone universe. You also get Static Season 1, issues 1 through 6. So this is pretty much all you need to get this story. I was very excited about this. It's got art by Nick Draper-Ivy with layouts by Chris Cross on some of the issues. I love this book. I did an overview, so I won't keep talking about it, but Milestone forever. So now we can get into the DC omnibus that I grabbed. It's not often at all that I get more DC stuff than I get Marvel, but it happened this month, so let's get into it. We got some big boys this month, starting with Teen Titans by Jeff Johns. This is, I guess technically this will be a volume 1, but I think Jeff Johns leaves the series after this. This collects, what does this collect? Every issue Johns wrote during his 4-year run on Teen Titans, plus Beast Boy 1 through 4, Robin 146 and 147, and the Teen Titans Legion of Superheroes special. So that actually doesn't even give us an issue count, but this is a big boy, a whammy boy, as my man Mad Dog would say. And I got it from Organic Price Books. Thanks to JP for sending this one over. Speaking of whammy boys, sheesh, another massive tome. This is Superman, the Death and Return of Superman omnibus. This collects the entire Death, Reign, and Return of Superman saga. So Action Comics 683 to 692, the 5th annual, Adventures of Superman 496 to 405, and the 5th annual, Green Lantern 46, JLA 69 to 70, Superman, Man of Steel 17 through 26, and the 2nd annual, Superman 73 through 83, and the 5th annual, Superman and Team Luthor Special Number 1, News Time, The Life and Death of Superman, and Superman, The Legacy of Superman Number 1. And this is, of course, the 4th printing of this book. It's exactly the same as the 3rd printing. So if you got the 3rd printing, no need to upgrade. This has the fold out page too, but you're not missing anything. Now, if you got the 2nd printing or earlier, you probably do want to upgrade this because I believe there's a little bit more material in this and that fold out page from Superman 75. But if you got the last printing, and especially if you paid a ridiculous price for it, just keep it. Just keep it. Just keep it. But anyway, Superman, Death and Return of Superman. Gotta love it. Man, when I look at this book, all I think about is Louise Simonson. I got to meet her at Heroes Con. She's like the nicest lady ever. So shout out to you, Louise. Now, here's another book that I picked up that I wouldn't have picked up otherwise, but Organic Price Books had a summer sale. You could get an extra 14% off everything in the summer sale collection. So I took advantage. I got Batman Nightfall Volume 2. Yes, I know Volume 3 is out of print, but hey, I've had Volume 1 on my shelf for over a year now. Might as well just add to it. So Nightfall Volume 2, this one sees John Paul Valley, aka Azrael, take a turn as Batman, and it's all sorts of brutal and stuff. And an extra 14% off means I paid $43 for this book from its original retail price of $100. Can't beat that with a stick. I guess you could beat the book with a stick, but why would you want to do that? Nobody wants to do that. But anyway, we've come to the last book. We've come to the end of the road. Girl, why you keep playing with my heart like this? So, the last book from DC Comics, and I've got an overview of this one coming soon if I didn't post it already, but this is The Question, Omnibus Volume 1. The Question by Dennis O'Neil and Dennis Cowan. Dennis, we refer to as Denny. So Denny O'Neil, Dennis Cowan. But this collects The Question 1 through 27, Question Annual Number 1, Green Arrow Annual Number 1, and Detective Comics Annual Number 1, which are part of a big crossover event called Fables, which is very cool. He'll find the answers or die trying. The Question follows the reporter Victor Sage, who moonlights as a vigilante. Name The Question. But yeah. Vic Sage fights injustice as an anonymous, faceless vigilante. As Vic Sage contemplates his role in the corrupt Hub City and interrogated his own motivations for becoming a crime fighter, O'Neil and Cowan drove into vital questions of philosophy, criminology, and the inherent brutality and heroism. Very cool stuff. This one's got a cover price of $100, $99.99. You can grab this at Organic Price Books for $70 right now. And I highly recommend you do. I bought this because it's got art by Dennis Cowan, and Dennis Cowan is one of my favorites. Favorite people and favorite artists. So it was a no-brainer for me. And Denny O'Neil is like comic royalty, especially for someone like me who's a huge Batman fan. So it's like, why not buy this book? Why not? So yeah, grab that. It's still up for sale at Organic Price Books right now. And as you can see, I am preparing for the money shot, as they say. And by money shot, I mean the shot that tells you how much money I spent. So, stack is already incredibly high. As you can see, my little TV tray is struggling right now. Let's move this tray paper back to the top. And let's see if we can get it all in the frame. Can I back it up a little bit? Focus a little bit. And I ain't doing enough cardio for this. I probably should have lifted a little bit more. Oh, that's not gonna. Oh, 1 rep max right here. This is insane. This is that's the haul. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one book not pictured because you didn't see the bottom of my hand. Whatever. I bought a lot of books this month. I shouldn't have bought this many books this month. I should have saved some of that money for Heroes Con goodies, but we'll talk about Heroes Con in a video very soon. Until then, I hope you saw something you liked in this one. If not, hey, that's cool. You can always buy what you like. Just make sure you read what you buy and be nice to others because kindness makes the world go round. Peace.